Welcome to Why Did You? A podcast that celebrates the inspiring journeys of Filipinos across the globe, from mastering their expertise to overcoming powerful life experiences and succeeding in business, entertainment, sports, music, acting, and politics. These stories are filled with resilience, hope, and unstoppable Filipino spirit. Today, we're honored to sit down with a man who has worn many hats: a soldier, a lawyer, an educator, a public servant, and above all, a principled Filipino. Attorney Sigfred Mison is best known for his leadership as the former Commissioner of Bureau of Immigration, where he stood firm on reforms grounded in integrity and transparency. But beyond the uniforms and titles is a man shaped by discipline, faith, and service. In this episode, we discover his story, the lessons learned, the battles fought, and the values that have never wavered. This is Why Did You with Attorney Sigfred Mison. Hello, sir! Kamusta po? It's been a long time.
It's nice to be part of your podcast and happy to be here. Humbled and honored to be part of your program.
Oh, my pleasure, sir. It's my honor. It's an honor, sir. At alam po namin na sobrang busy ninyo and we're just going to borrow some of your time. Marami pong manonood nito, especially mga estudyante po ninyo from UE College of Law and everywhere around the world. Basta Pilipino and Attorney Sigrid Mison, sikat na sikat po yan talaga. Sir, this time po, I know you're used to asking us questions because you're our professor, you're a teacher, but this time, I'm going to ask questions to you. So, sir, could you give us like a little bit of your history or background, where you grew up, where you studied, and what's keeping you busy?
Oh, okay. Well, I was born into a middle-class family. I am child number 4 out of 6 children. My father is a army officer. My mother is a college teacher. And all of the children are professionals. 2 are here left in the Philippines. 4 are there in the United States.
Oh, okay.
In several parts of the United States. 1 in California, 1 in Texas, 1 in Florida. They are all over the place. So from time to time, I get to visit them. But the way things turned out, I was in the U.S. first as a cadet at West Point. And then when I came back from West Point to serve in the Philippine Army after 4 years in training in New York, my siblings all went naman to the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Grabe, sir, matindi talaga. West Pointer. Tapos, ibang klase. Di po ba parang isipin na natin, sabi niyo, you came from a middle class family. But your education, very expensive. It's not so easy. First, not so easy to get into West Point. Second, of course, we have to deal with financial aspect of your study. Very expensive. Talaga, mga Pilipino, world class po itong teacher natin. Kaya, nako, marami po talaga kayo matutunan dito. Whenever he says something, his words are really kailangan talagang tandaan natin.
Let me just correct one thing.
Okay.
It was expensive, but expensive on the part of the United States. Kasi I was sent as a scholar of the Philippine government as part of the Mutual Defense Treaty way back. Wow. We were accommodated 1 Filipino cadet every year to West Point and other service academies in the US.
One out of how many applicants, sir?
Well, we were like 1,000 took the PMA exams, and out of that 1,000, 400 passed the written exam, and then for the foreign service exam, we were like 20. Nasala na kami
Wow.
noon, Arnel. Oo.
Talagang funneled and filtered and best of the best talaga po, ano? Kaya,
That is, to me, it's not really best of the best, but I think that was providential, a blessing from God.
okay.
Yeah.
Lahat naman po talaga. Like I
Yes.
said, everything is planned. We just have to follow and susunod lang po talaga tayo. Totoo po yan.
Yeah.
How old were you then when you went to the West Point, sir?
I went to West Point at the ripe age of 17.
Oh, so you did not enjoy your teenage life. Like after high school, you went to college in the West Point.
Yes, imagine, so 17 up to 21, so that's the equivalent of my college degree. Pero Arnel, ang pagkakaiba talaga is the culture shock. Imagine,
Yes.
I was only 17, like I said, middle class family. My high school was in UE, and then all of a sudden I am thrown to a society that is so different from ours.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And not only that, of course, majority of the students are Americans. Culture shock. You're smart and intelligent. You don't have any issue when it comes to communicating or relating yourself to them. But you're right. The environment, the food, the weather, the people around you, right? Yeah, it's really a big adjustments po. And
Yes.
I think nothing is impossible with you because first, you're smart, you're young, and you're full of dreams. And to be chosen as one out of more than 1,000 mayors, you graduate West Point, and what happened? What's next?
From West Point, I had to go back to the Philippines to serve our armed forces because that was part of the agreement between US and the Republic of the Philippines.
And which part of the
So
armed forces were you, sir? Which
I joined the army,
the army?
initially
Okay.
with the infantry. I was assigned in Samar, in Bataan, in Bulacan, and then over time I joined the intelligence.
Oh.
And while in the intelligence, did some research, did some operations, and did some training of intelligence personnel in the intelligence service.
Sir, hindi po dyan kasama yung mga confidential funds sa intelligence po, di ba? I'm
No,
just kidding.
we
So, hindi po kailangan ng ano dyan, hindi kailangan na resibo na may VAT pa, di ba? No, I'm just kidding, sir.
yeah. So after that, when I had some time assigned in Manila, I took some law school subjects during the night. So
okay.
Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I was doing night classes in
At
law
what school po,
And
sir?
then, I went to Ateneo.
Ateneo.
When I was assigned in Camp Aguinaldo and Fort Bonifacio then, I had time. 8 to 5 ako sa kampo, 6 to 9 sa eskwelahan.
Sa law school.
Yes.
Sir, inubos na po yung youth ninyo ng mga aral at saka eskwela po. But
Correct.
it is really inspirational. But you are you are goal and purpose driven. You have a dream and you want to achieve something. When you have a dream, time is so quick. You will never get bored. Ano po, sir, pinagkakalibangan nyo during that time? Do you have any sports or what do you do? Golf? Or you started golfing?
No, when I was in high school and even during my cadet days, I really enjoyed racket sports.
Okay.
In particular, tennis.
Tennis.
Golf was way after tennis na, nung medyo mahina na yung tuhod.
All right, sir. So, from law school, of course, you passed the bar. Where did you work? Saan po kayo una nagtrabaho? Or how did you practice law?
Okay. When I was about to leave the army, because I was already a licensed legal practitioner, I joined a small firm together with some classmates from UP, small firm, and then the small firm became a medium-sized firm. And then nakakatuwa nga, Arnel, dahil somehow during that time, we were only getting Ateneo and UP associates. And when I started teaching in UE, sabi ko sa mga partners ko, I think let's try our products from UE. And lo and behold, they really did much, much better than those people from UP and Ateneo.
Because they are hungry. That's why.
They are hungry, they are out to prove themselves,
Yeah.
very hardworking, and very, very trainable and teachable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, you graduate din po ako. And
Yes.
trainable din po ako. And I'm proud to be a UE graduate. From West Point to the Philippine Army, then to law school. What pivotal moments or personal convictions guided your transition from military service to the legal profession, sir?
Oh. When it comes to conviction, I think it's really more on trying to be of service to others. As a
Public
military
service.
man, you try to, part of our mission was to get rid of communist insurgents, lawless elements in society. And then when there was the transition from military to legal, it's pretty much the same thing, service to others, but this time around, not with the power of the firearm, but with the power of the pen. Defending clients, writing up good agreements, and just giving them sound advice. So it's all service.
Yes, sir. Parang ano, di ba? Parang sigat Jose Rizal. He really believed on the power of pen than the sword. So,
Huh?
sir, I remember in my next question is about your dad. He's a famous person because we all know he used to be the vice chief of staff of the AFP. How did his public service influence your own path and the lessons from him have you carried into your career? Sir. Your dad is sikat na sikat talaga. We always see him on TV before. And what influenced you from him?
My father was a very strict disciplinarian. And he really valued education. That's why even he had a meager salary from the armed forces, he made sure that all of his children would get to college and be a professional. When it comes to his influence in public service, you'll be surprised, Anel, being in the army was not really a goal of mine. When I finished high school from UE, wala lang. I just wanted to really enjoy and try out college life. And then here you are, my father, being a army officer, encouraged me to try PMA exams, and then became a cadet, became a soldier. But after 12 years, I called it quits. But not knowing that, 12 years after I quit, there was this opportunity to serve the country again, this time around with the Bureau of Immigration.
Sir,
And
before we
when I
go
was
there,
there, yeah.
Sir, before we go there, your father, when you graduated from West Point, sinabi po ba niya sa inyo na, anak, this is my dream? Our children are the extension of ourselves. Pag that West Point graduation, I don't know he was there or not, but I think he's there. But nasabi kaya niya sa sarili niya na, ako to, this is my dream. You fulfilled my dream. Ano pong sabi niya, sir, nung gumraduate po kayo na West Point?
Well, for one, he was very happy because my kuya, my older brother, graduated from PMA, followed his footsteps, and became an Air Force officer and served for 39 years in the Air Force.
Wow.
Ako naman, I joined the army, and then my younger brother, he was being encouraged by my father to join the Navy, but he did not.
Sir,
He
para ano
was
pala
the
kayo,
guy
ah,
who
parang
said,
parang parang franchise pala kayo ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, kayo yung mga mission family, no? Wow, you really put a dent, or you really put a name to the society or to the armed forces. Talaga, sobrang proud ko, sir. When you were the commissioner of the Bureau of Immigration, pagka pumapasok ako ng Pilipinas, lagi ko sinasabi, oh, my teacher is a Commissioner Mison. So during your tenure as a Commissioner of Bureau of Immigration, you faced both achievements and challenges. Reflecting on that period, what were the most significant lessons you learned about leadership and integrity in public service? And when did you start your term, sir?
okay, so I started 2011, ended in 2016. For the first 2 years, I was a deputy, and then the rest I became the head of the agency.
Wow.
In terms of service in the bureau, I would say that it was both fulfilling and frustrating.
All right.
Fulfilling
End
in a
to end.
sense that, yeah,
East and
fulfilling
west.
in a sense that, yeah. Kasi, the things that you do, the things that you want to improve, when you make them happen, it creates a lot of impact. Not only to the Philippines, but to the rest of the Filipinos around the country.
World, yes. The
The
country,
world.
yes.
Yeah. So, nakakatuwa. It gives me that satisfaction and fulfillment every time, those little changes or reforms that you do helps the country in a big way. But at the same time, it's frustrating dahil every time you make changes, there are some resistance. And those who resist the changes are usually the people who are affected because nababawasan ang kita nila.
Ayun talaga, no, sir, no? Parang,
Yeah.
ano kaya talaga ang solusyon o ano kaya ang antibacterial ang kailangan natin gamitin dito sa ating sistema? Dahil ang ganda nung, isipin niyo, sir, magaling na yung naging puno eh. Pero ang hirap talaga yung kontrolin ng mga tao sa baba. Magaling na yung ulo, pero minsan, I'm still hoping na maging maganda ang Pilipinas. No? Pero sabi nyo nga, fulfilling and frustrating. Kasi katulad po namin mga Pilipino na nasa ibang bansa, parang minsan, yung mga magagaling umaalis po talaga dahil ito ba yung pagsisilbihan kong mga tao na kahit gaano ko kagustong baguhin itong sistema na ito, ikaw yung madadala dahil ayaw po talaga nila, parang nakaangkla sila sa ganong sitwasyon. Anong antibacterial, anong antiviral na gamitin natin? Parang MRSA na resistant na. Ay, nako. But I don't lose hope. I know in the future, there's this one person who's gonna be younger, who's gonna be stronger, and the will is stronger than all these diseases and this corruption. 2011 to 2016, you served in the Bureau of Immigration. Sir, full term po yun ng ating Pangulo, sir, no? So, straight 6 years po, no?
No. I joined a year after Pinoy became president, and I left 6 months before Pinoy stepped down.
Yeah, I wanted to give him credit because I admire him, especially on the economic aspect, like what he did during his term. Yung ating economy na maganda po. At nakakapagbayad na po tayo ng utang. He's intelligent. He's a quiet leader. He's not as a macho leader, but I believe marami po siya nagawa. Sir, as a professor of Ateneo and University of the East, how do you integrate your diverse experience, military, legal, and corporate, into the teaching to prepare the next generation of lawyers? Sir, talagang magkaiba yan. UE ng Ateneo. Alam mo naman, tayo nasa Gastambide lang tayo, masaya na. Hindi ko alam kung Ateneo. Ang Saburi po, talaga regular customer po tayo dyan para sa pansit. Rest in peace po, Attorney Sandoval. May ninong.
Oh, yes.
Di
I
po
miss
ba?
that guy. Yeah.
Ang masasabi ko lang po is, kaya ako po nagtatanong pero sinishare ko lang din, no? Kasi, sabi ko nga, pag lumabas ka ng UE ng recto, andun yung mga regular na tao eh. Ano po? So,
True.
ang Ateneo, hindi pa po ako nakapunta doon, pero alam ko po, maganda po yung kanilang bakuran at saka maraming puno. Hindi po usok. Go ahead, sir. How did you integrate your diverse experiences, sir?
It really takes a lot of experience and some perhaps empathic skills to be able to integrate, my experiences to different situations, different circumstances and a scenario. So, syempre, again, if there are differences in terms of the campus, the teaching style, and even the students themselves, dahil most of the students in the university belt in law schools are working students. So the time is not really, on their side. So I can be more lenient when it comes to students in UE or San Sebastian. But for Ateneo, I can demand more because I expect that they have more time to study. So that's how I did it. And to me, Arnel, it's the teaching is not really just telling you, what I know in terms of the law, but being able to train you how to find the law, because we will never know all the law. So that was my mindset every time I was teaching. I tried to perhaps use my military bearing to somehow intimidate people so that they will study more. But more importantly, to me, it's really about being able to inspire them to study more, study hard, read more, and then take it from there. I don't know everything. So it's really up to the student to be motivated to learn the law themselves.
Wow. Nakakatuwa po dahil nanggaling na po yan sa inyo, sa isang authority ng law. Ang sinabi nyo pa, I don't know everything. Pero ang tingin po namin sa inyo, when you were, alam ko po, sales po ang tinuro nyo before, di ba, sir? Sales?
I taught sales. I taught obligations and contracts, wills and succession. Yeah.
Sobrang galing nyo na, pero sinabi nyo pa rin, no, na I don't know everything. Very humble sa isang tao, especially military posture. No? And sir, iba po talaga yung the way you talk in front of class, even though hindi ko po kayo naging professor, but whenever you talk, parang ang galing-galing niya mag-English. Saan niya kinukuha lahat ng mga salita na sinasabi niya? Bakit kami hindi ganito? Pero it's training. I think one good thing, natira po kayo sa Amerika, you really have to speak the language. So you are forced and compelled to speak English all the time.
You can say a little bit about that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're intelligent because you like to read. Sir, you've held leadership roles in various organizations, including the Philippine Airlines or PAL and SM Prime Holdings. How do you adapt your leadership style across different sectors? And what core principles remain constant?
Core principle talaga in any workplace should be service.
service.
It's not about yourself.
Correct.
It's not about yourself. It's about losing more of yourself to benefit the others around you.
Sir, di
And
ba po
every
yun po
time,
yung sinabi ni ng Indian, famous Indian, you find yourself in the service of the others? Parang
oh,
Mahatma
that's
Gandhi
Mahatma
po yan.
Gandhi.
Yun po ba,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah.
Ang galing.
That's Mahatma
Galing.
Gandhi.
Yeah.
So again, it's really, you know, that's the way you should try to lead. And then when people around you see you that you are really taking care of them to the point that you are losing some of yourself for their sake, iba yung obedience, iba ding discipline. They will really make sure that, you know, they will not only follow you, they will not only respect you, but they will love you to the point of doing things, anything and everything you say. So that's how I think leadership is, not only in the military, but also in the private sectors that I've served in.
Mhm. And I'm sure, sir, your leadership by example, you show people, you make your hands dirty. That's why you just don't order it. You know, kayo mismo nakikita nila na ginagawa ninyo. Kaya yeah, that's one good trait of a leader.
Tsaka dagdag lang, no? So aside from service, the fact of being accessible, or I call it not MBA but MBWA, management by walking around.
Correct.
So you don't just stay in your, big office with good views of the city. You go around. And that's how you will feel the pulse of your people, of your employees. And then you also have this open door policy that, you don't close your office.
Yes.
You leave it open so that anybody can just walk in and say, do you have a few minutes? They can say complaints, comments, suggestions, or just saying hi and hello. Part of having that good employee engagement or interaction with your people. Maganda, it works, ha? It works. So a leader is not only about serving others around them, but also, making yourself accessible.
Yes, that's true. Kung laging busy, leader nga, lagi naman busy, hindi makausap, wala din. It's a good policy, sir, what you said.
Just to add, i-add ko lang, like in your case, when you told me, oh, you have this Why Did You podcast, I was so happy that you are, doing this thing. I hope you get to do more and inspire more people through your talks and through your guests. And you being open and accessible, that's already part of being a good person and a good leader, trying to
Thank you,
inspire
sir.
others. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. When I started this podcasting, I listened to a podcast which has a big impact to me. The title is How I Built This. He's an American podcaster, and I listened to him almost every day when I started the business. I only created this just for a hobby. Hindi ko po iniisip yung financial aspect nito. But I want people to see people like you, mapakinggan nila. And I want people to know if they're on the right track. Am I doing the right thing? Ano yung kulang? Ano yung dapat kong pagbutihin? Ano yung dapat kong improve? Kasi sa mga taong katulad nyo na successful in their field or expertise, maraming matututunan. Para it's like a footprint na susundan po natin. Kaya thank you po, sir, for appreciating this podcast. I want my time to be meaningful. Sir, ayoko po kasing nasayang po yung oras ko na dahil that is the most expensive currency, time. Di po ba?
Correct.
Kaya
Yes.
once you use it, you cannot bought it back. Sir, sir, quick question lang. Did you write a book? Meron po ba kayong sinulat na libro na?
Yes, aside from the typical law textbooks, I managed to write this 7 attributes for public servants, servant leader. Yeah.
Sir, hindi ko pa po nabasa yan, pero pag uwi ko po, hahanapin ko po yung libro na yan. Nabibili ako. Sir, your writings
Sige.
often reflect a deep spiritual perspective. How does your faith inform your approach to law, leadership, and daily decision making?
Oh, wow. Heavy and Arnel, huh? I wish I had this kind of a level of faith when I was younger. I just developed that closer and personal relationship with our Almighty God late in life. And, as the saying goes, nothing is ever too late. But whenever you are grounded in faith, whatever you do, you'll feel good because you are guided by someone much wiser than anyone else.
Yes, correct.
So I really wish, your listeners, the young ones especially, start to develop that faith-driven discipline, leadership style in a way that, everything you do, you try to attribute, you try to invoke the presence of the Almighty God. You can never go wrong. You can never go wrong. Yeah.
Sir, yun po yung tinatawag natin na true north. Di po ba?
True north, yes.
True
yes.
north. Yun talaga ang true north. Hindi ka mawawala.
Yeah. There will be occasions where, yeah. There will be occasions where, yeah, that, your true north will kind of be cloudy. Kasi tao lang naman tayo eh. But if you have good friends, wise counsel around you, then you'll be fine. They will take care of your blind spots. They will say, Arnel, medyo naliligaw ka na, ha? Fred, mukhang mali na yung ginagawa mo, ha? Little things like that. So aside from, having that close and personal relationship with our Maker, you should also surround yourself with good people who believe in the same Supreme Being.
Correct. Tama po yun, sir. Totoo po yun dahil minsan pagka successful ka na, yun na yung time na sabi mo nga, nawawala eh. Kung wala nang magulang na magsasabi sa'yo at magkokorek sa'yo at papalo sa'yo, tuloy-tuloy. Di po ba?
Yeah.
Totoo po yun talaga. Hindi lahat ng pagkain kakainin at kakagatin. Di po ba?
Yeah.
Sir, let's look at the future, sir. Looking ahead, what do you see as the most pressing challenges for the Philippine legal system, and how can legal professionals contribute to meaningful reforms?
Wow. When it comes to the Philippine legal system, it's just, I think, putting the right people in place. And, we can talk about this all night, Arnel. It all boils down to leadership. No matter how the process will be, no matter how, technologically advanced the equipment or the systems around you, it all boils down to the leaders. So in our Philippine legal system, of course, you will always look at the judiciary. You will look at the prosecutors. How they are chosen would be a challenge. How they can perhaps improve the internal processes will ultimately depend on them. Kahit sabihin natin, the rules of court are the same wherever you are, wherever you go in the country, but you will notice there are some judges who will make things easier, faster.
Mhm.
And, just by going to work on time every time, justice will be faster, right? It, I'm not sure if you have experienced some case there in the United States. There is much faster. Here, we are so much slower. And again, it's not a matter of the number of cases, but it's really a matter of, the diligence of the people who are trying to administer justice, whether they are prosecutors, public defenders, or even judges. Nasa tao talaga. So
Nasa tao po talaga, no?
that's to me the biggest challenge in the Philippine legal system.
Legal system. Ayun. Totoo po talaga yung kasabihan na justice delayed is justice denied.
Oh, definitely. And again, sayang talaga. And that's one of the reasons why I chose not to spend too much time in litigation. Because, there were so many unnecessary delays that I see, either from the judge himself, or the opposing counsel, or the client himself. Talagang it was so exasperating having those delayed in cases. Simple case, it will take you 2-3 years to present your evidence. Too much. Yeah.
Nako, talaga dapat mabilis po yung justice or yung mga proceedings and trials and decisions dahil unang-una the anxiety of the victim. If they really want justice, imagine the justice that they wanted is dependent on the person who has to make the decision. But of course, that's what we call the fair trial. Kaya hopefully, mas mabilis na po ang ating judicial system in the future. Mas mabilis na desisyon para po mabigyan natin ng hustisya ang mga taong mga naapi. Having navigated careers in the military, law, and corporate sectors, what legacy do you hope to leave behind, and how do you envision your impact on future generations, sir?
Wow. Legacy na tayo, parang
Legacy?
parang mamamatay na.
Hindi po. Kailangan lang natin talaga yan. What are we going to leave? But I know you did so many good things na, especially sa immigration reforms. And ang pakikinggan lang at titignan lang ng mga tao talaga is yung mga taong katulad nyo. But you could be special. But what I mean, special people like you, gusto namin makita kung ano po yung iiwanan po ninyo. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. When I was in the bureau, I remember having this big printed poster, and it says, leave everything a little better than you found it.
That's nice.
So the context there is that in any place you go, in whatever capacity, you try to make it better. So sa akin, the legacy, so to speak, is really just making the effort in such a way that you make use of your God-given talents. And like you said, that precious time, it's finite, so you might as well make the most out of your time.
Correct.
Improve whatever you have, either family, your job, whatever. Leave everything a little better than you found it. You just cannot chill lang tayo. No, cannot be. You have to do something and be more proactive. Yeah.
Wow. That's very good, sir. Sana po gayahin yan ng mga kabataan natin dahil yung time talaga, mahalaga yan. Akala nyo lang bukas gigising ka ulit, ganun ulit. No. You should find your purpose talaga, sir. Di po ba?
Yes, agree.
If you could advise your younger self at the start of your journey, sir, what wisdom would you impart, and how might that advice resonate with aspiring leader today? What part that you're going to change na kung ano man kayo ngayon? May babaguhin po ba kayo sa ginawa niyo dati, sir, or you're just going to do the same thing?
Oh, okay. There's always 2020 vision in hindsight. So everything is clearer when you just look back. And I think for people to say that they will not change anything, I don't think that should be a good answer.
I know.
Kasi you are given that opportunity nga, and then,
Oo.
2020 vision ka, I think you should. In my case, if I had the chance to share some wisdom to my younger self, I will just tell perhaps that young Bison, that 10, 12, 14-year-old Bison, read and study the Bible more. I wish I had, a mentor early on, so that I will be able to, enrich my faith when I was still traversing my life as a captain in the army, lawyer, and then commissioner. I really wish I was really given that, solid relationship. And you can only do that if you really understand and read and study the Bible.
The true north. The true north.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, true north. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
Sir, I have some few questions here. You could answer, you could not. Hindi po to kasama rin sa sinend ko sa inyo eh. But I have some questions here. Behind your public roles and accomplishment, who is Siegfried Mason at home? As a partner, a father, and family man. How has your family shaped your values and kept you grounded through the years?
Well, growing up, I was a naughty boy. Makulit ako. I was a very playful person. Always in the streets, not taking afternoon naps, not eating the right food. Makulit. But I had a happy childhood. And I think as a father to my 3 children, I really impart, the value of not only education, but having that jolly and happy disposition in life. When they say, Dad, I am lonely, Dad, I am sad, it's always a choice, right? They say nga, di ba, na there's always a silver lining to everything.
Right.
No matter how difficult or how hard the circumstances will be, you can still find something good in it. So, yun ang parang that's how I am, trying to be as optimistic as possible. And again, that's driven by, knowing God. So, yun ang kagandahan noon.
Wow. Coming from Mr. and attorney Siegfried Mason. Wow. Talaga dapat may guidance talaga, may guidance. Sir, here's my last question. And who do you want to say thank you from the bottom of your heart with everything that you had, pwedeng family, not family member? Who do you want to say thank you, sir?
Oh, okay. That's very easy. I think that the easiest question you have asked me for today, in your program. You always have to think. You always have to thank and give gratitude to the main man above.
Alright.
He is in total control. And with respect to all others not above, I will always thank my father, my mother, because they were sent by God to make me who I am now. At the same time, my children, my loved ones around me, they gave me challenges that made me who I am. So even those I would say the bad guys in the bureau, they gave me lessons and they shaped me for what I am now. So I thank all of them. These things to me are set my way to give me a lesson for me to learn and be a better person. And finally, I thank people like you who
My
are
pleasure, sir.
doing these things, trying to make the world a better place, make a difference, leave the world a little better. These are the kind of guys that I think deserve to be amplified so that people will know that hey, meron palang ganun, right? So that's all. So thank you very much for having me here.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure. Sir,
Yes.
any last message to our viewers before we close this?
Oh, last message. Of course, always tune in to Why Did You?
Thank
It's
you,
very
sir. Thank you
important.
very much. Thank you
You
very
can
much.
pick a good thing or two in this podcast. Number two, whenever things are down, whenever things are difficult, all you have to do is look up. And when you say look up, you just surrender. He is in total control. He has your back. And then finally, when things are going great, same thing. You look up and you say, you are one amazing God. You are
Amen to
one
that.
amazing God. Yeah.
No, sir, thank you very much for this opportunity and ang galing niyo po, sir. I'm so happy na makausap kayo. Kahit virtual.
Likewise.
Di ba, sir?
Likewise.
Let me just close this and thank you very much for I really appreciate this interview.
Likewise.
All right, guys. You just heard the heart and mind of a true public servant. Attorney Fred Mison reminds us that titles may come and go, but principles endure. Whether in law, leadership, or life, his journey shows what it means to lead with courage, humility, and faith. At Why Did You, we believe that every success, there's a deeper reason, a calling that guides each step forward. So we ask again, why did you? Thank you for joining us in this powerful conversation. If this episode inspired you, be sure to follow, share, and stay tuned for more stories and real struggles, real triumphs, and real people. Until next time, I'm Arnel Arrieta, and this is Why Did You? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for everything, sir. Okay.
God bless. God bless.
Thanks for tuning in to Why Did You? I hope today's story inspired you and reminded you of the heart and spirit behind every Filipino journey. This podcast is brought to you by RR Food Ventures Corporation, makers of Kuya Arnel's Cooked Sweet Pork Sausage, Kuya Arnel's Pork Chicharrones, Habit Crispy Fried Chicken Skins, and Habit Pork Cracklings. Technical support and music by Gabby Arrieta. Once again, this is Arnel Arrieta, and you just listened to Why Did You? Until next time!
Craving something sweet, savory, and satisfying? Kuya Arnel's Cooked Sweet Pork Sausage is your new go-to. Fully cooked, perfectly seasoned, and made with love. Just heat, serve, and enjoy. Available now on Amazon. Taste the tradition. Get your crunch on with Kuya Arnel's Pork Chicharrones. Crispy, airy, and exploding with flavor. This is the real deal snack you didn't know you needed. Grab yours on Amazon today.
Crunchy, bold, irresistible. Habit Crispy Fried Chicken Skins brings the heat with real chicken and serious flavor. Low carb, high crunch. Snack smarter, snack habit. Find it now on Amazon. Classic, never tasted this good. Habit Pork Cracklings delivers that old school crunch with modern flavor. No fluff, just crispy, protein-packed perfection. Hit it up on Amazon and stock up now.